Good evening and welcome to the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Greenfoot Rapids pregame show. It's Wednesday night, which means it is game night in Grand Falls. Game 3 of the East League North Division semifinal between the Chaleur Lightning and your Grand Falls Rapids, of course. So, there is a lot to talk about and such little time to do it. Luckily, the game starts at 7:30, so we do have a little bit of time to get through things. And I guess we'll start off with the crucial Game 3 charge. So we already know that the Chaleur Lightning have a 2-0 lead in the series. Most recently, that 6-3 win in Bathurst on Sunday afternoon. Great trip, by the way, for those who went up on the bus. That was real fun. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. So, give you an overview of the series. The Rapids enter the playoffs as the number 1 seed, and the Lightning, the number 4 seed. And for those who are just tuning into the playoffs that don't know the scheduled format, it goes 1-1, 1-1. So it would be, so game 1 was here, game 2 was in Bathurst, game 3 is here, game 4 will be in Bathurst, game 5, if needed, will be here, and so on and so forth. So that would be it. I don't want to spend too much time talking about game 1 because we've already done that in the previous pregame show. What I do want to talk about is this, is game 2 was a 6-3 loss for the Rapids. This series is such a fascinating one for multiple different reasons. The first one being that both teams are over 40% of the power play. And what do I mean by that? You look at the stats so far in this series. The Rapids are 3 for 7. The Lightning are 6 for 13. So they're scoring on the power play. Probably not as much as you would have liked, but they're scoring on the power play. Game 1, Chaleur had 3 power play goals. Same with game 2. Game 1 for the Rapids, they had 2 power play goals, added another one in game 2. So 6 total power play goals through 2, 6 total for the Lightning. 9 total power play goals through the course of the 2 games that were played so far. Special teams, like all the difference. And I think this has been something that has been talked about time and time again through the last couple of games is Chaleur's power play and how deadly they've been, how insanely good their offense has looked on the PP, and, well, how dominant they've been. Which leads me into one topic of conversation that has been hotly contested as well this week, discipline. Discipline is a huge, huge factor into this series. We've seen the Rapids were in the penalty box quite a bit in the first 2 games. That's the reason why they lost game 1, was because they were undisciplined. They were taking penalties where they obviously could have probably avoided it. Same thing with game 2. Now, obviously, they didn't play badly. Don't mistake this for me saying that they played badly, but it's those penalties at inopportune times that really hurt them. And unfortunately, in this case, when you let Jack Hayne in the first 2 games score 4 goals, it's not exactly the greatest, but that's all right. They can still shut him down. Staying disciplined is a thing in this series that we've talked about a lot. They got to do that if they want to win this game. Talk about the X factors. Talked about Jack Hayne. He's got 4 goals in the first 2 games. Both of his goals are game-winning goals. Jonah Laird, on the other hand, he's got 5 points in the first 2 games. 2 of those goals are on the power play. Cohen Miller was obviously the scoring opener for the playoffs, so he's a huge momentum shifter as well. Those are the guys that you want to obviously have out there, but you want to have, your dark horse players, right? People who don't necessarily fall into your star categories, right? You want to have guys on the depth like Brody Paré, like Patrick Baxter, like a Declan Kennedy, stepping up to give you a little bit more of that scoring boost as well. So, and that's exactly what you want to see from this group, right? Your depth has to contribute just as well as your forward core does, and I think we're going to start to see that here in Game 3. So, before that storyline going into tonight's game, the Rapids had multiple leads in the first two games. Were not able to hold them, but they kept the games close at least. For the most part, they kept those games real close. And I would expect nothing less here tonight. I would think that this game is going to be no different than the first two games of the series. You're going to see some physicality. You're going to see some chippiness. If Reed Calder comes out hitting like he did last game, man, I'm excited. This whole series has just been a wrecking ball, and I love it. And it's not just him. It's everybody throwing the body, making those plays that they need to make. The only thing that's really costing them is just the penalties. They're playing stellar. Like, they're playing a great game. But, again, it's just staying disciplined, having the mindset of, okay, let's keep it clean. Because, again, Chaleur, as you know, is one of those teams. They will not stop until they pester you and pester you and pester you into taking a penalty. And they are so good at it. It's part of their game to just be pests and to try and goad you into taking a penalty. And I think it's the most genius playbook ever. But at the end of the day, you have to try and just avoid that altogether, because you can play and you can take penalties, but you know they're going to score on you, or they will find ways to score on you. And we saw that in a couple of penalties or a couple of power plays that Chaleur had in game number 2. They didn't let them score all of them. They did have a couple of really good monster PKs in that game, but you got to stay disciplined and stick to, if you are going to take penalties, stick to the guys that can kill penalties real well. So, with that said, you also got to give the goaltenders a little bit of help too. Adam LaCour has played stellar. Defense has played stellar, but you want to just make sure that they are, keeping consistent to what they have been in terms of getting those big block shots. You saw Isaac Allard in the first game go down to block a couple of shots that were real game savers that could have been a lot more lopsided had he not been there. Will Patey, same thing. Love the energy that he's bringing. Anton Topolnitsky, booming one-timer from the point, always fan-friggin-tastic. And Mathis Cyr, again, another guy who's holding down the blue line. I think the entire Rapids D-core right now has been playing very well. I think the entire team has been playing very well. But you just got to keep your head in the game and make sure that you're not taking those penalties that could lead to scoring chances for the Lightning. Because you know, as you've seen so far, if they get a penalty or if they get a power play, they will make the most of it and they will not stop until they score. So, this is where things get a little bit interesting. So, the goaltenders, we talked about that. Game 1, Adam LaCour made 25 saves on 29 shots. Jack Flanagan with 22 saves on 25 shots. So, they were very close. Both goalies have played real good these first couple of games as well, and I would expect no less here tonight. We'll go into the keys to the game for the Rapids would be, I think, number one, above all else, we've been mentioning it so much in this first few minutes, stay out of the box. Make sure that you are out and playing 5-on-5, that you're not taking penalties when you don't need to, and make sure that if you do, improve the PK, make sure that you're limiting their chances, try and stop Jack Hayne, stop guys like Zach Rushton from cutting towards the net. They will get there, and when they do, it's not going to be a fun time. So you want to stop them from getting any chances in front of the net and make sure that you're getting on, not getting those man advantage chances. So, second key to the game, take advantage of your home ice. This is another home game. The Grand Falls crowd is going to be loud tonight. I can feel it. I know they are. This is going to be a big boost as well. Take advantage of the atmosphere and the fact that you can gain the confidence, not just from the fans cheering behind you, but you're on home ice and you're ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Third key to the game, get more offense 5-on-5. We've seen the scoring chances were there. A couple of real good breakaway chances for both Cohen Miller and Patrick Baxter last game. Jonah Leard as well in game 1. Just weren't able to bury him, but you will get those chances, and if you get those chances, you make sure that you bury those. Do everything that you can. Pepper shots on net. Flanagan is one of those goaltenders when he gets hot, he gets hot. Adam LaCour, same thing. When he gets hot and he gets dialed in, that's exactly what you want to see. in order to stop Flanagan from getting so dialed in, pepper him with shots, make sure that you're getting every opportunity that you have, turnovers in the neutral zone, turnovers in the offensive zone. If you're in your D zone, make the smart play. Don't always try to just pass it right off your stick. That's the kind of thing that you want to see. So generate more offense 5-on-5 as well, so that on the special teams, you won't necessarily have to be either shorthanded or struggling to generate offense there as well. So with that said, I know a lot of people are down and out about with the Rapids being down 2-0 in the series. And what I have in front of me is a list. And bear with me here, because this is going to be a big list. This is a list of the Stanley Cup playoffs and teams in history that have come back from being down 2-0 in a series. First one being the 2000 Philadelphia Flyers. They were down 2-0 to the Penguins, ended up coming back and winning in Game 6. 2001 quarterfinals, LA beat the Red Wings. 2002 Western Conference quarterfinals, Detroit comes back and beats the Vancouver Canucks. Then you go into I think one of the biggest, which was the 2009 Stanley Cup final. The Pittsburgh Penguins, who were down 3 games against the Detroit Red Wings in 2009 in that cup run, ended up coming back and winning the series and winning the Stanley Cup in 7 games. Then you go to the 2011 Stanley Cup final. Boston Bruins were down 3-0 to the Canucks. Ended up coming back to win the cup in Game 7. If they can do it, these guys can too. This is where the comeback starts. Because yes, you're down 2-0 in the series, but that doesn't mean that it's the end. Keep in mind, this is a best-of-7 series, and it will not end until that 4th game is claimed. So you never know what you could see. Anything is possible. And if you want to give them the best chance that they can to win, make sure you're getting loud and bring that energy, because they can feed off that and really do some good stuff in the course of this game. So with that said, I'm going to start getting ready and heading up to the booth, getting ready for game time. Puck drops at 7:30. I'm going to be on the broadcast on Flow Sports. So if you want to tune in, make sure that you're tuned in. If you are not planning on tuning into the game, if you are coming, I want to hear you making as much noise as possible, because this is playoffs. It's time to make some damn noise. I'm tired of the excuses. Get off your hands, make some noise, and cheer on the boys. Game 3, Eastlink North Division semifinal, Chaleur, Grand Falls, coming up.